not suffering a mild discomfort because I didn't get what I truly wanted. And so, with the Alexander the Great quote, where he realizes how minuscule he is, and he weeps over that, maybe there's value in realizing how minuscule we are and being grateful in how minuscule we are, because then all we have to worry about is, and this is where my faith comes in, just being a servant. That a whole lot of people are going to see with the intent of delivering a message that might make one of their lives better. If I just say, how can I serve someone today, then that's fulfillment. And Tony Robbins says material success without spiritual fulfillment can feel like the ultimate failure. And that's why you get people at the top of all the money and the cars and the women and the success, and they feel empty inside and they take their own life because they're depressed. So for me, I think the antidote is realizing we're dust and not weeping within that, but being deeply, deeply grateful that that's all we are.
There's obviously a lot of sexiness around memento mori. People think about, remember that you're going to die. So it's this thing that goes on a coin that right holiday is given to them. I think that there's a memento mori for productivity. You will never get on top of all of the tasks that you have to do. This is not a Bergman thing where he says there will never come a day where you have completed all of your tasks. I think about the fact that one day I'll die, and my email inbox will continue to accumulate messages. People will get pissed that I'm not replying to their emails, not knowing that I'm dead. And maybe that'll be lots of people because it'll happen suddenly and I'll be young, and maybe it'll be a few people because I'll be old and they'll have known about it. One day that will happen, it will keep going. So you have this, it's kind of like workload entropy. You are going to be defeated by the entropy of this workload bearing down on you. And it's just never going to stop. So I think realizing that's not morbid, but it should feel liberating, which is, I think, what you're getting at. You should be liberated by this. Well, you're never going to get on top of it all. Yes, there's things that you need to do. You want accolades, you want status, acclaim, external achievements. Cool, go get it. Just know that if it feels a bit more hollow than you thought it would, that that's kind of by design. It's always going to be that, and a much quicker way to try and feel fulfilled is to go, oh, what if I just had fun? What would it be like if I had a little bit more fun? This guy asked me last night, I have this burning ambition with the Q&A of one of my work in progress shows. I have this burning ambition, and I can't turn it off. What should I do? I said, just become really, really successful. Just a quicker solution. Use the fuel. Hey man, I've got this massive gas tank and I can't take my foot off the gas pedal. Alright, drive until you run out of fuel. Like you just go, keep going, and then eventually you'll run out. So it's a strange one though, right? Because obviously the difficulty of this discussion is that saying to anybody who has burning ambition that the end result of their ambition is not going to make them happy is like telling a hungry man that food doesn't really matter as a fat man. And you're stripping away from people the very fuel that they want to use to keep going. And it feels a little bit like road calling someone's dream out from underneath. So it's a very contentious point to talk about, but I think I'm seeing so many more people discuss it as people speedrun careers, and people can get to the top of the career in a pretty short amount of time. And then it's not what they expected. So I think more and more people have this mini existential quarter-life crisis.
Well, I think the objective then is not to use these things to fulfill a hole or a longing inside of you. It's to treat it like part of the game. It's all just fun. Growing the social media, growing the podcast, doing things that I'm doing is not because I'm searching for a deeper meaning within myself. Like that guy saying, I have relentless burning ambition and I can't get rid of it. You're right. You shouldn't try to bury the thing that's on top. You should explore it and go into it and understand it and then decide if it's valid or not, and then to make a decision about his identity from there. That's how I view this. There was a time where I remember hearing, I alluded to it earlier, but hearing you talk about hitting the subscriber milestones for the podcast and just go, okay, on to the next one. Or the greatest you had was maybe a dinner that you went through it. But you continue to dangle and carry it, you got burnt out. And I remember thinking, a million followers on TikTok is going to feel different. And then it happened. And then I just did, it was, okay, I'm going to do a dinner now. I just don't know what to do.
So you got someone commenting.
So it's a fun milestone. It's fun to celebrate. But it's not what our identity is.
Tommy says hi. Hey, Tommy, how's it going?
They're looking for. They're looking for.
Thanks for jumping on.
The ability to feel whole, to feel adequate.
Hey, don't forget to hit that like button.
It's significant.
Subscribe to the channel while you're here.
That's right. Yeah.
Seen, heard, and understood.
If you can't talk about it, you aren't healed from it.
You're only as healed from something as your ability to share. It means everything to me. So my dad passed away January 19th of 2025, and it was a long, arduous, painful process. Moved home after a long breakup, lived with that person, came home to reset, thought I'd just get to spend some time with parents before I moved to Florida, and then my dad's not quite right. I hadn't seen him in about a month, so he was regressing quickly, and I could tell he didn't look right. What I didn't know would happen would be, over the next 7 months, his health slowly regressing with answers as to what was wrong with him, which was really the crazy part. We didn't know what was wrong with my dad, which is a really weird place to be, because it was the epitome of helpless. There's nothing the doctors could do, I could do, and we'll dive deeper in the story later, but I remember not even being able to answer the question, how's your dad doing, without that pain, or that tightness in my chest and my throat coming up. I couldn't even say, he's fine, he's not doing well, couldn't share anything about it. And 36 hours before he passed, I went and gave a presentation, I battled it, but he insisted that I go give this talk at a conference in Dallas and fly right back home.
Well, you guys are in this live.
Because I was afraid he passed.
Stopping in and out.
And he said, what do you worry
But
about?
be sure to hit the like button.
And I said, yeah. And he said,
Or at
"So
least,
what? You said everything we need
you
to
don't
say.
like it,
Go live your life.
drop a
Even
comment.
if you don't do this." And I did it.
Tell me what you don't like about it.
But I remember there's a part in that presentation where I talk about
I'm happy to
conviction
hear your
and
criticism.
how important health is. You know, that's one of my core messages in my content is, you know, we can have a laundry list of problems until you have a health problem, and there's only one problem. And I looked, but I couldn't even talk about my dad, because there's a picture of him on the slide. When I get to that, I told you about this. It was the first time I'd ever shared that story, and it's the day we found out he was going to die. I took that photo for me, I didn't think I'd ever share it. It was powerful, because it was the moment that I remember being, or thinking as a kid would be the worst day of my life. And I couldn't, I was on stage and I just broke. I had to go silent for 30 seconds in front of 300 people and gather myself. Because I wasn't healed, I hadn't done the work. I hadn't let myself grieve, I hadn't let myself be angry, I hadn't let myself be sad. And now I can sit here with you on the 8th biggest podcast in the world. Congratulations. That's so cool.
Suck me up.
I will. And tell that whole story without pain. Because I went all the way into the emotion. And so you cannot, I don't believe this, you cannot heal what you cannot feel, and you cannot feel what you're unwilling to reveal. And for me, it was about talking about how I felt, letting myself be angry, and telling someone, I'm angry at my dad, that he didn't look after himself more tightly. But my first instinct was to manage the emotion. How dare I be angry? He's dying. How dare I do that? But that's not how you heal. We don't heal and do the work by burying our emotions, because what you bury will bury you. It will come around in your subconscious mind and run the show. So instead, I allowed myself, I gave myself full permission to explore the emotion of anger, and then ask myself, is this valid? Is this real? No. But I couldn't get there until I processed it. And then it was sadness and grief and guilt and at times happiness, full permission to express the full spectrum of emotion with which I was existing in. And now I can use that story to help people. And that is an incredible source of fulfillment. I heard a great Christian creator say once, your purpose in this life is to take what God delivered you from and turn around and help other people do the same thing. And for me, my biggest fear was always my dad dying. It was the grief that would come with that. But I made it to the other side, and now I get to share that story. Because I am healed from it. I don't cry or choke up when I talk about my old man. And there was a time where if you'd asked me this a year ago, I'd have to probably just say, hold on, and pause. So that's what that means to me. If you cannot talk about it, you are not healed from it, and it will run your life subconsciously in some way. Your relationships, your work, your body, your health. So whatever is stirring around inside you that you suppress, understand that suppression of expression leads to depression. And until you express those emotions, you are not going to be delivered from them.
your mattress giving you aches and pains? With Mattress Firm, our sleep experts can match you with a more supportive mattress like Sleep Posturepedic
Of
and
expression.
Cartilage to help relieve those nagging
To
pains.
depression.
And right now, save up to
Forget.
$700. Mattress Firm, we make sleep easy.
Chip Roy claims to be conservative, but he keeps siding with Democrats. First, Chip Roy said Trump committed impeachable conduct. Then Roy voted against a bill to provide crucial aid for Israel, while they were under attack from Islamic terrorists. Finally, Chip Roy admitted in an interview to helping illegal aliens in immigration court cases. President Trump even called Chip Roy a Republican in name only. Told Chip Roy to stop siding with Democrats and vote conservative.
The greatest trick the devil ever played was making
Huh?
you believe we're the pessimists, the good guys.
What?
Has it finished already?
Ignorance, hate, earnestness, and sincere conviction, because they can't stand being reminded of the thing they're capable of, will exist. Actually trying. People are trying to get expectations of you that they put on themselves. Don't mistake their insecurities for your ceiling. Whatever you fear establishes the boundaries of your freedom. So if you're afraid of heights, you stay low. If you're afraid of people, you stay low. In the moment, you have lots of fears and uncertainty because you do not enjoy stuff as much as you can in the future. You were able to see all of the fears that you could have written down in order to move on as it came to pass. So you realize that all of your fears didn't need to be something to worry about, and all the enjoyment, how you should have enjoyed it back then, would actually what you should have wasted your time and your attention. You can't feel that your life has not begun. Your present reality is a mere prelude to something to the future. This interval is a mirage, and will fade as you approach, revealing the reality you rush through as if from a rock to a dead. Do you know what the tasks that you didn't go for made of the people that you like? Not that you don't think anything about you, but you didn't try. Everything that you were worried about happening isn't happening. You didn't go for it. It's a lifeless movie, and people are watching you up to this moment. The large audience is screaming at the screen, telling you to be your life. I'm certain that most capable people don't believe in themselves enough, and a lack of confidence killed more dreams than a lack of confidence led it. The idea that one day life's duties will be out for you, and you can finally
Lack of
stop
confidence.
doing what you want and living your life fully.
No, 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 lack of
It's a lie. There's a part of you that is going to experience and enjoy the past more than you did when you were going through it. For 3 generations, no one will even remember your name. And if that doesn't give you liberation to just come off with problems and find some joy. I don't know. My friend explained that when he finds himself getting carried away by jealousy or frustration or anger, he asks us a few questions.
There's a few of you jumping in and out of the live. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Be sure while you're in, just hit that like button. Help us out, get more traction. The last few days have not been very good, very kind to the live here. Not had a lot of people getting in. Not having a lot of people hit the like button. Which is fine. If you don't like it, it's alright. Do me a favor though. The comment section. Explaining what it is you want to see different. What are you not liking about the live? I'm open to the feedback. Feel free to hear. We've tried a couple challenges. We've tried just kind of talking through different exercise techniques. I'm open to what your feedback is. If you don't hit the like button, just let me know.
Sacrificing your joy and your presence in the moment for probably you won't even be able to recall in the future. So, learning comes from the edges. And 3, change is uncomfortable, and it rarely occurs without a lot of stress. Learning comes from the edges. From the edges, proximal zone of development. You're pushing yourself just beyond what you're comfortable with, and sometimes this can be emotional pain too. Leaving the job happens when you get pushed out of region beta on the bottom end, or growth happens when you overextend yourself the right amount, so much that you get injured, but so much that you're challenged, that this is a new zone for you to get into, and clawing up, wow, and it expands your potential, your idea of what you're able to do, and it many of the periods of radical important change that you have had in your life have only occurred because of severe challenges you faced. Like, look back, almost all of the big periods of growth in your life have germinated from your lowest points. In retrospect, would you have avoided them if you could? Probably not. So, this challenge is a gift. You can lean into discomfort as if you invited it through the door. It's like, oh, there we are. Hello.
When you talk about metrics of success, you talk about observable metrics and hidden metrics of success.
Yeah, so a lot of the time we'll trade a hidden metric for an observable metric. Something that's observable would be your job title, the salary as PO, how many people know you, your bank balance, the size of your house, the car that you drive.
Things people can see.
Yeah, of course. Okay. The only way that your success can be judged is outwardly. So naturally we trade something which people can't see for something that they can see. For instance, lots of people would trade a longer commute for a high salary or a better job title. One of the problems we encounter with that is that the length of your commute is the most correlated stats with your happiness. Longer commutes will likely make people more miserable. And what's the hidden metric that you've lost by doing that? Well, that's less time with your family, with maybe your kids that are growing up, with your wife to connect. That's less time to pursue your own passions, even if your job is your passion. So, what about a more stressful career? You move into a different industry that's way more stressful, but it pays more. Observable metric. What's the hidden metric? What about the peace of mind, sacrifice something that you want, which is happiness, peace, connection, for something that's supposed to get the thing that you want. There's a wonderful idea called productivity dysmorphia. It's the inability to see your own success. It's like to acknowledge the volume of your own output. And so it sits at the intersection of burnout, imposter syndrome, and anxiety. So if you think of it like ambition factory, basically, like the pursuit of productivity spurs while robbing us of the ability to savor the successes that we achieve along the way. People are not particularly good judges of how productive they are. And so many people are whipping themselves into submission, saying you're not doing enough because in the past that motivated them to do more. And for a while, you have to accept I'm doing quite a lot.
So if you're jumping on the live, appreciate it. What we're working on today is pushing movements, chest movements. Trying to build up the chest, specifically the right side. If you'll notice, we've got a little bit of atrophy on this side as a result of my neck injury. And trying to level out and even up the right to the left has been a bit of a challenge. So I'm putting some extra reps in, specifically on the right side. Try to help build it up. I've got the wife back there working out. She's in a bad mood. She's always in a bad mood this early. Those of you jumping on, appreciate it. Be sure you're hitting the like button. Help us out, trying to grow the channel. Last few days on the live, it's been no bueno. Not got a lot of people hitting the like button. Didn't get a whole lot of subscribers from these, which is probably why you've noticed the thumbnail, a little tongue-in-cheek, be a little funny, saying, hey, don't watch this, it's terrible. Because that's kind of the impression I'm getting over the last few days, as we've had very little traffic coming through the live. So whatever it is you guys want to see different, you just let me know.
In my experience, that's not the way it is at all. Like, your entire journey of personal growth is just steeped in doubt and self-pity and uncertainty. It tarnishes the whole experience. So it's not cool. This is supposed to be my Rocky cutscene. It's 3.5 minutes in the movies, but it's been 4 years for me. There's not even the promise that there's any glory on the other side. And then this is exactly why it's so much easier to just go back to your own patterns.
At GNC, you'll find all the newest creatures like the GNC and Freefall. It's the first of its kind crate designed to build, repair, and protect muscle in ways create the wrong feel. For next level performance, get it now. Only at GNC.
Hey, look who it is. It's my buddy, Sonny. He says, good morning. Bye, yeah. Good morning. He says, good morning, Bobby G. All right, how are you both? We did okay, Sonny. A little tired. These last few days have just been kind of wearing on us. You know, we're getting near the end of the school year, so trying to get some things done there with the kids. Our lives the last few days have not been doing well. Not a whole lot of interaction, not a whole lot of viewership, or people hitting the like button. Nah, I think we've only had one subscriber in the past few days, just off of lives. So we're a little disappointed in that. Curious what folks are wanting to see different though. So we're open to suggestions. My encouragement to those has been, if you're not going to leave a like, feel free to leave something in a comment. You know, give your genuine feedback. What do you want to see different? What would make you scroll through this live, see it, and go, I don't want to hit the like button. But if I saw, you know, X, that might change my mind. So I'm curious. What do you guys want to see? Yeah, you've seen that too, huh, Sonny? You've noticed the decline as well, huh, Sonny? It's kind of weird. I don't know what it is. Tried a few different challenges to make things more interesting. Doesn't seem to be landing. So really am curious. Feedback from folks. If you don't hit the like button, that's fine. Let us know what it is you want to see different. What would you like to see?
You don't speak the same language. A friend referred to it as changing your dialect so much friends this weekend is I'm going to keep my meditation streak going. Who knows if meditation works, right? It's so much easier to just stay in the routine that you were previously, doing the same sorts of things. If you pull away from that, you're going to have to do stuff usually that makes you more different, more easy to be mocked, and more alone. And the initial sad reality is that on your journey of personal growth, at some point, you may need to leave a group of friends behind who aren't growing at the same pace as you. The really sad reality is that if you do a lot, you may have to do this multiple times throughout your life. And it's not a value judgment about who's better or who's worse. It's just a stark reality of what happens when you start to make changes in your life. So people make small changes, like 5 pounds, change companies. How many people do you know that have really changed their minds, that lost 50 or 100 pounds, or changed careers, or moved from the city that they grew up in? It's rare. And I think the reason I love this lonely chapter idea is that it names something that a lot of people feel is a bone feature of personal growth, which is this discordance with their old patterns and their old friend groups, and the fact that they don't know whether the uncomfortability is supposed to be there. Is this discomfort right? Is my self-doubt? Surely I should just believe and see it, believe it, achieve it? Am I not supposed to just be, single-mindedly going toward my goal? This doubt is supposed to be there. I can promise you that every single person who has gone from a place where they didn't want to be to where they did has had to go through this lonely chapter and deal with all of this. You can just do things. Just do it anyway. Do it tired. Do it sad. Do it lonely. Do it without a role model. Because if you're waiting for somebody to come along and give you that helping hand, sometimes you're going to be waiting. It reminds me so much of differentiation is survival, and the universe wants you to be typical. And the way that this tells into what you said.
Let's see what we got here. All right, Sonny, I see your comments. Give me 1 sec. All right. What do we got? We've got Sonny says, I'm giving you advice to boost the stream. What I think it should be there to get more viewership. What you got? First, put extra lights. You can figure out where and how to put and where. Darker room gets lesser traction. Okay, good feedback. Make it bright anyhow. Second, use some hashtags while uploading or entering on the live streams. Okay, it's good feedback. So I have added some lights. The challenges of having them, and you see I've kind of built some diffusers, is the more lights I've added, the more harsh lighting that I've gotten, and that's created some negative feedback. So I think, actually I identified a camera that I think will take in the light a little better and not make it look so dark or too bright, I think. So I'll be setting that up. Hopefully that'll help. And the hashtag is a good idea. I'll look at some of the live streams, see what kind of hashtags they're using. Maybe that'll help out with which ones I need to use in mine. So I appreciate that, Sonny. Thanks for the feedback. I do want to figure out, though, for those that are jumping in, because there's times when I can see there's I can see when there's 15 to 20 people that have all congealed in the live. However, they stick around and then they're gone. Maybe it's the lighting issue you're talking about. They're the ones I'm trying to get to stay. So hopefully the camera will help.
Speaking about the camera, I don't know if I'm gonna move around with it though.
I don't know if I'll be able to. Make it set up in one spot.
And it keeps on going. I'm going to get into
Sonny says, or use the light on your camera, I guess. It'll look much better to see you. Yeah, maybe so. The problem is I'm using the selfie camera right now on my phone. which doesn't have the camera option at the top as it would if I flip the phone around. However, if I flip the phone around, then I can't see any of the comments or chats, and I'm not able to have that conversation back with you. But I think what I'm gonna start doing, I'm waiting for it to come in the mail, is I've got a new webcam. It's supposed to be better. I'm gonna have my laptop out here. I'll set the webcam on my laptop, have the live stream from there instead of my phone, and that might help with some lighting issues as well. Might be able to point light more directly at me from behind the camera so that we don't have the harsh lighting or the dim lighting. So I'm gonna try something new. It's good feedback, Sonny. Something I've been thinking about. The hashtags I've not been thinking about, so that's good feedback as well. I just need to figure out which hashtags are, trendy, gonna get the attention.
For me, it's always been the light issue. I just don't get it because you think it's because I was doing the light.
Now what I've done, I feel like it's made it too dark.
Yeah.
Maybe being able to have a light from behind the camera would help.
Just take out the diffuser, see if that works.
Take the diffuser out. Well, we'll be right back to the start.
I'm saying with the camera, that actually helped. Because it's new light. You know what I think?
I'm thinking if we set that up top, like a shelf here, have a light behind it, to shine out from my table. Like a movie set would, Sonny says, I think use a light that focuses on you. You'll look much better in viewing. Yeah, I think you're right. We were just talking about the way I think we'll set up our laptop with the webcam. Once that comes in the mail, is set it to where, this is the camera, the one I'm looking at. Have the light behind the camera shining towards me. I think that'll probably do a little better.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping. Our sleep experts have the love and know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm,
when you are struggling and when you encounter obstacles, because I guarantee you will, and you start thinking about giving up, I want you to remember something that has carried us through every moment of our lives, and that is the power of hope.
Sonny says,
Something better.
says, yep, most of the creators use that. You can Google the trending live workout hashtag. It'll definitely boost the stream. Okay, that's good feedback. Really do appreciate the honest feedback, Sonny. Always welcome that. We've been doing these lives for probably about 4 months now. 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Certainly made a bunch of changes to the environment. Trying to get it right. Low to high. And flies. Yeah, certainly I've made a bunch of changes to the way we do this. I feel like it's come a long way, but just it seems like recent last few days, viewership is just taking a decline. Just all of a sudden, you know, it was never great to begin with. You know, typically you get somewhere between 200 and 300 viewers each morning for our live, and usually averaging about 10 likes a live. Last few days it's been much lower on all metrics. I think what's also frustrating is, you know, I've checked out some other live streams, just any other random, not necessarily fitness related, and I see some really garbage live streams out there. That the lighting is bad, the content is bad. It's literally just someone with a camera phone in front of their face talking a bunch of random stuff, and it's got tons of viewers, tons of likes. And I just think, how are they getting that? You know, what are they doing so different? Because what they're talking about is just not interesting at all. But Sonny says it happens. Don't lose hope. I'm with both of you. Thanks, Sonny. Really, really appreciate you, man. Love that, buddy. All right, so we got Sunny on here saying, you said, even I can't see you properly now when you put the camera here. Okay, so this is not a good angle is what you're saying, Sunny? Yeah, I think having the lighting and the new camera is going to be what happens, or what helps. Might lose multiple angles, which, I don't know if that's helping or hurting anyways. Yeah, the lighting issue. Okay. This other one should come in the mail here in a couple days. We'll set it up, try it out, see how it works with everybody. Started live streaming from my my laptop instead of the new webcam and the new light. So here in a couple days, should start seeing a difference. Okay. Okay. The one that comes with the light?
That's what they got.
Yeah, I didn't specify what it was I was recording, so that may have changed the result if I did.
We are very unique creatures on this planet. We live on 3 different planes, don't we? Only we have self-awareness. We have this sense of purpose. And we live on 3 planes. The physical plane, like this is a vehicle, this your body is a vessel, a vehicle. And so we live on that physical plane. But we're also energy, and we're radiance, we're soul, we're spirit, we're energy. And then somewhere beyond between those two, there's the thoughts, feelings, and emotions that we have. So you're living on life on 3 planes, and as you get older, assuming you're doing your work, because wisdom is not just age, wisdom is experience. Your consciousness is wiser as you probably is material. And this is why old folks always say, if I could just go back, like what do they say, age is wasted on the youth. Well, that term exists because if I just knew what I know now, then, oh my gosh, my brother, what does they say, right? I have greater self-control, greater self-mastery, more in line with the light. God-given source purpose is, and there I still have thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and I have to master those.
Alright guys, we're just minutes away from finishing this live. If you haven't already hit the like button, be sure to do that. Help us out, helps us grow the channel. Got some good feedback from Sunny as far as lighting and hashtags to help grow the channel. Happy to hear any other feedback anyone else has as well. Before we end it, while you're here, hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Leave some comments in the chats here. And then be sure to share with your friends.
Buddy suggested the same camera to me too, the Canon one.
That must be good.
Because it's the best overall for YouTube Live without going overboard.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the one.
That is $500.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
That's the one. I was talking about the webcam.
No, that one. No.
I mean, I have the money.
I know you do.
But I also have to get the converter card, whatever that is.
Hold on. It says easy to connect to a PC for streaming.
According to what I was reading, you've got to have like the camera, but then a connection cord or something that goes into your laptop.
Let me ask, because this one says that it's easy to connect for your,
Okay.
for streaming. This is the kind of camera that makes streaming instantly with more professional creators instead of full live stream.
But I won't be able to move it. It's not wireless, right? But I can't move it from place to place. It's stuck in one spot.
No, it's wireless. It's a camera, like it's an actual camera.
So like, could I get a magnet for it and hoist it to different places?
I think what usually with these is you get like a camera stand. Yeah, it has, you can get a tripod mount for these cameras.
So I still have to do it into the lighting.
Maybe not, I don't know yet, hold on. Buddy says avoid ceiling lights only.
Yes, yeah.
He says a $600 camera with bad lighting can look worse than a phone with good lighting. Put a ring light or softbox behind the camera.
A ring light? What's a ring light?
One of those, like the ones that you see that stand that we have with the ring? That stand with the ring.
There's a light? They make a light for that?
We have a light for your phone. You attach, so it's like a magnet. I've seen it on TikTok. You attach a magnet.
Oh, that, I see. Okay.
Yeah, so there's you attach a magnet to your phone right here, and you have a light. I don't know what I think about that. And it's a ring, and it just focuses on you.
So maybe that's a better
Maybe
angle.
we can start with that.
Okay.
I mean, I can look for a ring light.
Okay. If I could put them in each corner, maybe. Because then it would blur out whatever corner I was in.
Keep the camera slightly above eye level.
Maybe it's with your kids, maybe with your marriage, maybe some other arena of life. You're laying on the mat, gasping.
Thank you. that's it. That's all we got time for. Thanks for joining. Go check out the rest of our content. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.